had a little eye itch. I have really bad eye allergies. Does anyone else have bad eye allergies where your eyes itch? The eye doctor, what they do, they'll lift your eyelids up and look underneath your eyelids, and if they're puffy and red, and you have really bad eye allergies. I have that. My eyes constantly itch. I think I kind of blame it on working on the blueberry barrens in down East Maine, around all them sprayers and stuff, spraying chemicals, and being on dirt roads and around dusty environment, like for many years. I blame it on that. I think that I developed the eye allergy from that. And that's not what this live stream's all about. But I'm waiting for some people to join. So I'm just talking random talk, saying random things. So let's see here. Let me close out of this. Has anyone been ice fishing yet? Hello? Anybody there? My buddy the bear here, he's been ice fishing. He's got a 6-inch K-drill up there. He's sporting the Laker ice fishing tip-ups. And this is what's this one? Oh, the polar tip-up. Got a polar tip-up. We've got the Siberian ice box. Has anyone ever heard of the Siberian ice box before? Those are pretty cool. That's what I have for holding my live bait. The top of it is like a nice tackle box. Has all kinds of compartments and stuff and storage for lures and a whole bunch of tackle for fishing. And then the internal part of it holds the bait, and it holds an aerator very well. I've got the Fabril aerator. It'll hold one of them very well to aerate your bait stuff. Yeah, these Siberian ice boxes are pretty sweet. Hello, anybody there? There's nobody on yet. Hello? Are you there? Where is everybody? Hello? Surprisingly enough, there isn't anybody joining me right now. Cool. I'm watching an ad right now on YouTube about the cruiser saddle. Does anyone else saddle hunt? I'm going to get to some ice fishing soon, but the cruiser saddle, they have the newest model, I just bought that this year. I love it. Anybody else use saddles for hunting deer, bear, moose, anything for that matter? Does anybody else saddle hunt? I love the saddle. It's pretty sweet. So those of you that are joining me, I see a bunch of people are just coming on. Hey, there we go. We got Bello1214. Hey, how you doing? You're cool, dude. Yeah, thanks for joining. So, have you been ice fishing lately? So you love hunting. Nice. Thanks for joining, Bella1214. Do you fish as well? Oh, yes. So you've been out ice fishing and you love hunting. How'd your deer season go? I take it that's an answer to my question about ice fishing. Oh, it's pretty fun. Yeah, ice fishing is a lot of fun. So we have Bella1214 joining the chat. I see there's plenty of others on this live stream right now. If you're just joining us, say hi in the live stream, start chatting away. Let me know how your ice fishing's going so far. Let me know if you've caught a really anything big yet, let me know what your biggest fish is that you've caught through the ice, things like that. I'm going to share my email in just a little bit. I love folks to share their photos and their success stories, their hunting or fishing success stories and photos. I love them sharing that with me through my email. I'll share then I'll show the photos, share the story on my live stream, give a shout out. So let's see, Bella 1240 says, nice, I caught lots. How did you? How are you? Yeah, I had a three deer. 3 deer year. Oh, and a bear. I actually made it out ice fishing for the first time this season today, and I only jigged. I ran and gunned. Am I saying this right? Tongue tied. I run and gunned for brook trout. I only jigged. I used my Garmin Striker 4 sonar on the flasher mode setting on that, and it took the second hole. I only had to drill 2 holes total. On the second hole, I caught 4 brook trout on the origami blade jig and spoon by 13 fishing. And I did that in like less than 3 hours, in about 2 hours, 45 minutes, almost 3 hours of fishing. I caught 4 brook trout out of 1 hole jigging with the origami blade fishing spoon from 13 fishing. And I used the Sonicor medium action fish jigging rod from 13 fishing. So that was my setup. And it was my first day out this season. Like me and my family were sick for 3 weeks with like influenza or something like that. So I hadn't had a chance yet to get out ice fishing, but I did today, and it was a good day. See, black bears isn't that insane? Yeah, nice. So Bella 1214 caught lots of landlocked salmon, and so have you ever been black bear hunting before, Bella? Bella 1214. I find it funny that you're the only one chatting so far. Usually there's 4 or 5 different people joining the chat, chatting away, sharing their stories and their 2 cents on fishing or hunting. Okay, so here's my email for all of you that are just joining. And for you, Bella 1214, my email is wildmaineoutdoors@gmail.com. So use that email to send your success pictures, hunting or fishing success pics and stories to, and I won't share your full name or anything like that. If anything, if I use a name, it'll just be your first name, unless you give me permission to use your full name, just out of respect and for safety reasons. But I'll definitely give a shout out and sharing your success stories and showing your pics. What's insane, Bella 1214, last Monday, since I go live every Monday nights at 8:30 to like 10 p.m. Last Monday, I had a fella on here from New Zealand. He's going to join, I think, shortly. He might even already be on here watching and listening. I see there's a bunch of people on this live stream, but I had a guy on here from New Zealand sharing, and he immediately sent emails. The kitty in the park. What's the best that you've caught? Thanks for joining the chat. The kitty in the park. Fish. Oh, what's the best fish I caught? I caught, I think 2 seasons ago now, 2 ice fishing seasons ago, I caught a 2-foot-long male landlocked salmon in his spawning colors. He had a hook jaw, and a spawning male landlocked salmon, they look a lot like brown trout. A lot of folks mis-ID male landlocked salmon and brown trout. Sometimes people think that a brown trout is a landlocked salmon. Some people think a male landlocked salmon is a brown trout. Misidentification happens a lot between those two species. But this 2-foot-long salmon I caught he was milking big time he was real fat. The milking is the male salmon releasing his sperm, his semen, And that, oh, he was milking all over my hand and arm and my ice fishing suit. And he was 2 feet long and fat, big, deep, thick girth on him and hook jaw. He was just a massive, massive landlocked salmon. And actually, the ice fishing video of me catching that salmon and showing that salmon is on my Spikes and Gills YouTube channel. You can at a later time go to my Spikes and Gills homepage, my YouTube channel, Spikes and Gills YouTube channel, and scroll down through the videos, through the fishing videos, and watch that video about that catch at a later time. So, all right, dude, I have to go, but good luck. Oh, thanks, Bella1214. Thank you very much for chiming in. Best of luck to you, too. I hope you catch lots of fish. And good luck hunting. Cool, I got a 14.6-inch bass last year. Oh, that's an insane bass. That's a great... That's a... Oh, we got Maisie May over here. I've got a few of my cats. Yeah, we're crazy cat people, if you didn't know. Yeah, I have 5 cats. Crazy, I know. We got Fuzzy Wuzzy, Ellie Bean, Maisie May, Mookie, named after Mookie Betts, the baseball player. And then we have Lincoln, Stinking Lincoln. Lincoln's a Maine coon cat. We got him at 34 pounds, but he's got a sickness, and he's now under 20 pounds. But we got him at 34 pounds, a Maine coon cat. How crazy is that? Okay, so that's a great bass. 14, 15-inch bass is good. It was a big fish. Nice. The kitty in the parking lot, do you ice fish? So, for those of you joining the chat, joining the live stream, share in the comment in the chat with everybody what your favorite fish is for ice fish. What's the favorite species of fish that you prefer to go after when ice fishing, and open water, and also open water fish, and explain why. So while I'm waiting for more people to join the chat and answer that question, you put in the chat, everybody, if you're just chiming in, let all of us know what your favorite fish species is when ice fishing. What's the favorite fish? What's your favorite fish to chase through the hard water when out there in the wintertime, and also in open water fishing in the spring and summer? Now today I made it out finally for my first outing of ice fishing this season. The sickness has gone away. Me and my family were sick, battling sickness for like 3 weeks. It might have been like influenza A or something like that. And so I hadn't been able to get out ice fishing for the last month, but I finally made it out today. And I used just a Sonocore by 13 Fishing, Sonocore medium action jig and rod, Sonocore reel by 13 Fishing, and I used an origami blade jig and spoon by 13 Fishing for running and gunning for brook trout in this pond that I was fishing. And I used my Garmin Striker 4 sonar set on the flasher mode, and that was chirping its head off multiple times. It was showing the red mark. I was using the red-green color scheme on the flasher, and the light green color indicated like my lure, and in the bottom, and weeds and rocks at the bottom. And the more denser objects like a fish would show as a red mark. The orange-red color, the darker, deeper colors indicated fish. And so I was getting a lot of red marks flashing and some chirping. There was a lot of trout action, a lot of trout activity under me today. And I caught 4 brook trout on that origami blade jig and spoon in about 2 hours, 45 minutes of fishing. I think I left at the 3-hour mark, but it was about 3 hours total that I spent out on the ice. I was nearly off the ice to my truck at 3 hour mark. That's all I spent out there. The wind was brutal today. I didn't bring my shelter, ice fishing, I didn't bring my portable ice fishing pop-up shelter and my buddy heater. I wish I did, because the wind was brutal. But my ice fishing floating suit that I wear cuts the wind real good with the hood up and all bun tight in that floating ice fishing suit that I've got. I'm toasty warm in the coldest of weather and the strongest of winds. It acts as a great windbreaker, and it's like fishing in a sleeping bag. It keeps you really warm. And if in the event I do fall through the ice, I'll float, and that would aid me in getting out, hopefully. So yeah, that's my spiel on today's ice fishing on my first outing. I'm going to upload all the video footage for my cameras from today. Tomorrow I'll do that, upload all that on my laptop, on my hard, and I'll be editing and producing a video about that lure, the lure I use, and my fishing setup. And I've caught many, many brook trout on this setup using this lure, and I showed and explained in detail today on how I fished that origami blade jig and spoon, how I was fishing it, how I was getting the hits by the brook trout, and how I was catching the brook trout. I was showing and explaining all that. All that's going to be on in the next episode, my regular main episode that I'll upload on my Spikes and Gills YouTube channel. That should be ready to be uploaded this coming Thursday night, hopefully. So tomorrow I'll start on editing that footage, and editing and producing and putting together that video for this coming Thursday night's upload. Who's with us? Did I lose you, the kitty in the parking lot? Bella 1214 said they had to go, but they were chatting real good for a little while there. Hello, anybody there? I've only been live 17 minutes. There's got to be more of you that like ice fishing and hunting that want to join the Spikes and Gills live stream every Monday night at 8:30 p.m. I'm sure Jason Gibson will be on here soon later. I'm hoping that guy from New Zealand comes back on at some point, hopefully. I think Jason sent me an email, a couple emails recently, about his ice fishing success. So those of you that are just joining, what you might not know, or maybe you already do, you can use this email. I'm typing it in the chat. Wild Maine Outdoors at gmail.com. So there, use that email. That's my personal email, wildmaineoutdoors at gmail.com. And please send your fishing and hunting success stories and pictures to my email, and I will share that, your story, and show your pics on my live streams. And then you can join the live stream and join the live chat and share more details about the story, and we can chat back and forth, and you can help answer people's questions about your hunting and fishing success stories, and so that we can all learn from one another. I want to build a really strong hunting, fishing community through my Spikes and Gills live streams every Monday night. I want many people to join, to chat with one another, to ask questions so that others can answer those questions, so we can learn and grow as hunters and fishermen and women. So yeah, I want all young and old, women, men, to join my live streams every Monday night, join the chat, and to share your success stories, fishing or hunting success, doesn't matter which. Share that with by sending it to my email, wildmaineoutdoors at gmail.com. I put it in the chat. You can send those pics and stories along right now. Currently, while I'm live now, that fella from New Zealand did just that last Monday night. He immediately sent pics and stuff, and sent his link to his YouTube channel to my email, and I was sharing that with everybody and showing his YouTube shorts that he uploaded, and And this was all footage from New Zealand. There's Jason Gibson. How you doing, buddy? Hey, AJ. Thanks for coming on. So, Jason, you missed Bella 1214. I think they're a new subscriber now. They left early, but they were chatting really good in the beginning, and I think they had a good, successful deer season. Bella 1214, they said they caught a lot of landlocked salmon so far this season. Jason, you might not have seen or heard because I think you just joined, but I finally made it out ice fishing today. My first outing on the hard water this season, Jason. And I caught 4 brook trout in only like 2 hours, 45 minutes of fishing. And my next episode is going to be about that, about my setup, the lure I use, the fishing rod I use, and how I was fishing that lure. I was running and gunning for brook trout using my Garmin Striker 4 sonar and just jigging only. I didn't use any live bait or set up any tip-ups. And the wind was brutal today. But I had a great, successful first outing for the season. And it helped me gather much more video footage and more content that I needed for my next episode that I wanted to upload, hopefully this Thursday night. So Jason, since you're on here, I want to close out of the live stream. Going to my email. Is this the email? No, that's YouTube. I went to the wrong spot. Bear with me, everybody. Let's see, we've got Down East Primitive Skills says, brook trout is my favorite fish to fish for. I do try other species. Sunfish is one I like to select out as well. I don't ice fish much, but want to give it an effort. But thanks for joining Down East Primitive Skills. I made it out for my first time ice fishing today, and I caught four brook trout. The next episode is going to be about that, about the setup I use, the lure I use. I was running and gunning for brook trout, and I feel like it's dark in here. Did I? Anyways, who else is on here? It says, what are you using for bait? Well, if I do use live bait, Down East Primitive Skills, I'll use like 2 to 3 inch shiners for brook trout and landlocked salmon. I'll just, for landlocked salmon, they say use smelt small, medium-sized smelts are great for that. But you can catch landlocked salmon, brook trout, brown trout, and stuff on even just regular shiners, just 2 to 3 inch shiners. All right, I've got to go to my email because I think I got some emails from some people showing their success picks and sharing their stories and stuff. So Downey says, awesome, yeah, sweet. Let's see, lovely. What's this? Couldn't preview. So something from you, Jason, but it didn't open. This was an otter at Medibemps Lake this morning. What was this, a photo of an otter? What did you see, an otter on Medibemps, Jason? I think you were connect more. Couldn't preview file, there was a problem. Yeah, that's all right. Let's go back. What else we got? Ooh, more pickerel. That's a nice. This is actually a really nice picture. I want everybody to see this. So this came in from Jason. Look at this. Beautiful picture of a. Guess what? Let us all know what fish that is. Not you, Jason. You know what that is. Come on, everybody. Testing your fish ID skills. What kind of fish is that? Buying all that doesn't make you a hunter. Buying all of what? Anyways, so this is a really beautiful picture of a chain pickerel. You can see why It's called a chain pickerel. Looks like chain link fence running up and down its body. And this was sent in from Jason. Now, pickerel, chain pickerel, they're normally very wormy, very slimy, full of algae and wormy like in the summer months and warmer months. But in the wintertime, if you catch chain pickerel through the ice in the wintertime, they're actually they're very good eating a good eating fish. They make a great fish chowder. My grandmother used to make a fish chowder for me out of chain pickerel meat that I'd catch through the ice, and she knew how to get debone them very well. She was very good at and adept at getting the bones out of them, deboning them, and making an awesome fish chowder with chain pickerel meat. So I don't know who this guy is. He says, "What does he think I bought all these mounts or something?" It's probably a hater. Buying all that doesn't make you a hunter. Okay, you're cool. So spicy crispy pickerel nuggets in the air fryer. Now I never had that. Jason, you'll have to share that recipe with me. Spicy crispy pickerel nuggets in the air fryer. You guys see that? That's pretty cool. Yeah. I'll have to try that one. Oh, what was this a picture of? Oh, that's the otter. Okay. All right. Nice. I got a pic to come through. So here you go, everybody. Is that, I wonder what that is right there. Did he drop a fish or is he catching a fish? So this is an otter that my buddy Jason saw, I believe, on the lake that he fished and caught that pickerel out of. Oak Ridge Taxidermist says, "What's up, brother? Hey, how you doing? Haven't seen you on here in a while, but thanks for joining Oak Ridge Taxidermist. So Oak Ridge, have you been ice fishing lately? I'm showing a picture of an otter that my buddy Jason sent along. Yeah, that's a nice pic. It's a big otter too. And then here's a cool pic of a chain pickerel that he sent along. Anyways, so Oak Ridge Taxidermist has joined us. Do you go ice fishing, buddy? Oak Ridge Taxidermist. I haven't heard whether or not you go ice fishing. Oak Ridge Taxidermist, are you busy with taxidermy this winter? I just finished mounting up a piebald buck. He wasn't. He was all white and gray. I think the brown hairs were more up in the neck and face area, but the body part of this buck that I just finished mounting was all gray and white. He's a phenomenal buck. He's really cool buck. A buddy of mine that I mounted that for, he had me tan the full body of the deer, the legs and all, legs, tail, and they're keeping the back half, tail and back legs and hooves and all that I tanned up, preserved. They're keeping that to drape over a chair or couch because he's all gray and white. He's a really unique piebald buck, and then obviously I did the shoulder mount for them too. So yeah, so you are busy with taxidermy. Sweet. I am too, actually. I really need to get going on that full life-size mount of a bobcat. I need to do this bobcat so I can put in for my taxidermy license. I've been practicing for 3 years, and I mounted this. I'm going to take this guy with me to Augusta to the test, hopefully to get my taxidermy license. I need to get that small. It was just a kitten. A buddy of mine asked if I would mount this bobcat for him, and I was like, well, I really do need to do a small mammal. So the last thing I've got to complete is a small mammal, smaller than a fox or about fox size or smaller than a coyote. And then I can put in the application to Augusta and pay the fee and go and test to get my taxidermy license. So I let my buddy know, like, I think you're my ticket to getting my taxidermy license. If you let me mount that kitten bobcat. It was a small bobcat, probably fox size, but he still wanted it. Was his first bobcat, and he's having me mount it. So once I get that done, hopefully go test for my taxidermy license. So what's the coolest mount you have ever done, Oak Ridge Taxidermist? I haven't yet been able to ask you that. If you're still with me, if you're still on here. Jason says, did some logging, wood cutting, habitat work last couple days. Going fishing on Med events tomorrow. Went yote and bobcat hunting other day. Called in a red-tailed hawk. But that's it. Yeah. I called in a ton of hawks and owls when calling, using predator calls to try to call in coyote and bobcat. You'll have many more of those experiences. You'll have plenty of owls and hawks coming to take a look, landing on limbs, trees above you when calling to predators. Let's see. So Oak Ridge Taxidermist, are you still on here? I just got done asking Oak Ridge Taxidermist what's the coolest, most unique mount that he's ever done. He's joined my live streams before in the past, and I haven't been able to ask him many questions. So I'm asking him now. I see a bunch of people just joined. Hey, please start chatting away, everybody. Say hi. Start. Get right on. Oh. Yes, please start chatting away. There we go. Nice. So if you're just... and share. Oh, that's cool, Jason. So Jason's been coyote and bobcat hunting. He tried calling some yotes and bobcats and had a red-tailed hawk pay him a visit. How many others that are on here with us have ever called in owls and hawks while out coyote hunting and bobcat hunting, and using rabbit or hare distress calls or rodent distress calls or any kind of predator call for that matter? How many of you have called in predatory birds when calling for yotes and coyotes? And actually, how many have had success calling in coyotes and bobcats? Let us know, man. Chat away. Share those success stories. Share those pics and success stories with my email. And we'll go from there. So let's put that email out again. I love to share other people's success stories. And so wildmaineoutdoors@gmail.com. I want all of you to use that email, wildmaineoutdoors@gmail.com. It's my email. You'll send your success fishing or hunting success pics and stories to that email, and I will share those pics and stories on the very next live stream. And you could even right now, while I'm going live right this very instant, you can share pics and stories to the email right now, and I'll open up that email and show the pics, share your story, and you can join the chat, answer people's questions. People might ask you questions about your hunting and fishing success stories, and we could all learn from one another. So yeah, the whole point of my live streams every Monday night, my Spikes and Gills live streams, is to build a strong hunting fishing community centered around my live streams every Monday night at 8:30 p.m. And so that we can all just chat with one another, learn from one another, maybe make long-lasting friendships, and who knows, maybe collaborate with one another and go on fishing trips and adventures and hunting trips and adventures together, and film for one another and get great, awesome, cool content to put on the YouTube channel, Spikes and Gills. So You just never know. Never know till you try, man. That's what's wonderful about going live. These live streams are unedited, uncut. They're raw in the flesh. I'm going to mess up. I'm going to be tongue tied. I might pick my nose. I might drool. I might stutter. You might see me with my fly down. I might have food stuck in my beard. This is, this is raw, uncut, and oh yeah, in the flesh, man. So that, but yeah. So Downey's Primitive Skills says, I've been tracking deer in the wee bit of snow we have had this winter. One for about 2 hours when we finally came together. He blew a couple times and smashed off down a slope. Sweet. So Downey's Primitive Skills, were you just out doing some post-season scouting? I actually, I'm thinking tomorrow. I'm getting out of work, maybe the latest 2 o'clock. I could go ice fishing again, but for a little bit, for a couple hours. But I think I'm gonna go postseason. I'm gonna go scouting, and I'm gonna go shed. The snow melted. I'm gonna go shed hunting and scouting. Scout my hunting area. The best. How many of you can attest to this? Can agree with this? Maybe from the podcast you've listened to and things you've read. I'm sure you can agree with this, that the best time to scout your hunting areas is now, right like after the hunting season. All the leaves are off, the trees you could see along with all your tall herbaceous, your broad-leaved, woody like broad herbaceous vegetation, your grasses and weeds and stuff are laid down and dead. All the leaves are off the tree. You can see really good. The rubs show up really well. If there's no snow on the ground, you'll see this year's scraping activity. This is the time of year right now to hit the woods running, get that boot leather on the ground and follow all those deer trails. Doesn't matter what you do out there now. Walk everywhere in all the swamps and the bedding areas, up and down the ridges and hills and ravines and valleys and drainages, and walk the roads. Figure it all out, man. Piece the puzzles together. Figure out what you didn't know about your hunting area this year. Figure it out now. So it will help you ultimately in this next coming season to be that much more successful. So Downey's Primitive Skills has been doing that. Preseason. Or postseason. Preseason. Still got some deer. Oh, I think Downey's Primitive Skills. Well, you like preseason scouting better than postseason? Or would this be considered preseason? We're in 2026. We're in a new year. Postseason scouting would have been in December, the month immediately after hunting season. So I stand to be corrected by Downey's Primitive Skills. I might have that wrong. This could be considered preseason scouting because we're in the new year, several months before the next deer season. Okay, see, Jason says another. I scouted the other day, deer, moose, and ton of turkey tracks in the snow, few rabbit. Nice. That's awesome, Jason. So, how many of you can agree with this too, that ice fishing can be likened to a lot to hunting. Hunting and fishing can have some similarities in that, like fish. The underwater, we don't physically see the underwater structures, but our electronics, like my Garmin Striker 4 with a traditional fish finder and the flasher. So if I put it on traditional fish finder, it will show the bottom. I can find with that, the Garmin Striker 4 sonar, I can find the ridge, find the plateaus, the ridges, the valleys in the ponds and lakes, find the drop-offs and the ridges and things, and I could find the weed beds and find the deep holes, the shallow areas versus the deep areas. So fishing and hunting is almost like one and the same. There's a lot of similarities to it in that. Like when we're out there fishing, we're looking for these cool, really neat topographical terrain features in the ponds and lakes to help us find and hone in on really big lunker fish. It's no different than with hunting when looking for prime hunting locations for setting up our stand or getting into a tree with our saddle. We're looking for those drainages, those draws, those heads of draws with intersecting trails with thermals pulling our scent down that draw so that we don't get winded and this and so forth. So we're looking for heavily traveled trails that bucks use with scrape lines and lots of rubs, looking for rub lines coming out of thick, real thick, impenetrable bedding like cover or just cover in general. We're looking for just whatever, looking for topographical features that can aid in our success with hunting. So that it's no different than with fishing. You're looking for those underwater structures like you would be looking for those topographical features and structures to help you be successful on the trophy buck, or vice versa on catching the trophy fish. So how many of you can agree with that? See fishing as a form of trapping. Yeah. Maybe just getting the jump on it. Found some bedding areas, sunny sheltered areas along marsh. That's awesome. So Downey's Primitive Skills found some cool bedding areas in sunny sheltered areas. Like, were those south-facing, those sunny sheltered areas where they get in sun now, really good this time of year? A lot of folks, a lot of people don't realize that in the fall, leading into November, like getting closer to November when the days get a lot colder, the nights get below freezing, and the snows come and stuff. The deer, they seek out bedding cover, bedding areas a lot of times in like south area, bedding areas that are facing the south facing slopes or ridges or south facing thickets and such as this down his primitive skills was saying he found. Because like where deer were probably bedding early season, September and October, they're not going to necessarily be bedding. They're not going to necessarily, well, a lot of times that bedding cover's gone. The leaves fell off, the vegetation dried up, died away, withered away, browned up, and fell over, toppled over. So a lot of that cover, the thick cover that was hiding the deer in early season, isn't there come November and December. So they're going to all change their bedding areas, change their travel patterns, travel routes from early season to later, mid-season, more in the fall, later fall towards winter. So, see, Jason says, very true, similar indeed. I've been using depth maps as I have no electronics. Yeah, so Jason can agree that fishing can be likened to hunting. Hunting tactics, the way we go about hunting can be used some way in the way we think about fishing, which is so cool. It's really neat. That's why I like those of us that are die-hard outdoorsmen and women. We love our fishing and love our hunting because there's a lot of similarities to both. There's just that, that chance that you could catch that lunker, that really your personal best lunker fish, or that just always that chance of surprise that you could put your tag on a big monster like buck over 200 pounds, big heavy racked buck. So let's see, Bella 12 says, hey, I'm back. Remember me? Huh? Welcome back. So Bella 1214 came back. Jay, give him a shout out. Jason will say hi to you. So Bella 1214, thanks for coming back. As you can see, there's been a lot of chatting going on, a lot of chatter going on here. We got Downey's Primitive Skills. He's sharing his scouting endeavors with us. Let's see, he says, maybe just getting a jump on it. I think Downey's Primitive Skills, when you said maybe just getting a jump on it, does that have something to do with fishing or ice fishing in a sense? I think you mentioned earlier that you're not much of a fisherman, you're more of a hunter. So Fifth Anderson 39 says, what a lovely room of death. LOL, thanks. Yeah, it's just hunting. Welcome back. Thanks, dude. So it's just hunting. So Bella 1240, did you just mainly, no, you just to see if I go up. Bella said, just mentioned they caught a lot of landlocked salmon, I believe. I told you that, Jason, I think, when you first come on. Yeah, caught lots of salmon. So yeah, Bella 1214 caught. Did you catch those salmon through the ice? Bella 1214. So Downey's primitive skills just said something else. He said along a marsh, southern exposure out on a point of black spruce, tight growth. One spot had only small droppings all over, and another had only large droppings. It's nice that the way you describe that, it does sound like a really good hiding spot, a good area for deer to kind of stage up and hide and bed, lay down, chew their cud for a time. Yeah, so all ice fish, nice. So when you say you caught a lot of landlocked salmon, like how, like a dozen, couple dozen, how many landlocked salmon have you caught this year? I plan on hitting a lake that's not far, about a half-hour drive from where I live, that has landlocked salmon that I have yet to catch a landlocked salmon out of, but all my friends and stuff have caught landlocked salmon out of there, ice fishing. That's one of my goals this winter, to finally land a couple landlocked salmon out of this lake. Yeah, it's a couple dozen. They were beauties. Nice. So you really get into landlocked salmon. That's awesome. Do you, Bella 1214, do you ever catch landlocked salmon jigging? And if you do, what kind of lures do you use? What's your setup for catching landlocked salmon on a rod through the ice, if you don't mind me asking? 'Cause that's something I haven't done, was catch landlocked salmon jigging. Downey's primitive skill says, I switched to fly fishing a couple of years ago from a lifelong garden hackle kind of guy. Nice, that's sweet. You're definitely a really unique, cool person, Downey's primitive skills. That's awesome. You do some cool stuff. And I really appreciate you for joining the chat and watching my YouTube videos and leaving comments and stuff through the years. Downey's primitive skills has been a good supporter of the YouTube channel through the years. So they're pretty cool. And so is Jason. So Bella 1214, have you ever caught landlocked salmon jigging? And if so, share with us some little tips about that. Like, if you don't mind sharing the lures that you'd use for that, what kind of like rod setup you'd use. So while all my lures are mostly the same, but rod fishing are my favorite, and lures not sure which ones, but they catch very well and hook into the jaw as well. Okay. All right. Very cool. Let's see, we have, yeah, it looks like there's still some people on here that are following along that haven't joined the chat yet. So if you're just watching, following along, if you don't mind saying hi, drop a comment, let us know how your fishing's been going so far. Let's see, it says, well, plugs and crankbaits for, yeah. Oh, plugs and crankbaits can catch landlocked salmon. I think so. See, yeah. I mean, you could catch a lot of different fish species with plugs and crankbaits. Let's see here. Oh, Aiming 2 Game 55 says, have you ever wondered how far you can stretch before it rips open and they fall out? The ball said, get out of here, dude. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, that's a hater. I had Bella 1214. There was another guy up here that said, what did he say? Another hater. Or these are just people that are jealous, probably. What did they say? What was this guy saying up here? What the heck was it? Oh, this guy's saying buying all that doesn't make you a hunter. We had one guy trying to say I bought all these mounts. Heck, I did this shoulder mount myself, and this bear I mount was my first ever shoulder mount that I tried. I've been learning taxidermy for 3 years. I mounted that buck over there. I've got a bobcat, full life-size mounted bobcat. Had someone trying to say, they think that I bought all this stuff just to make me look cool. But Um, anyways, what? Who is this guy? Oh, he might be a gamer. Aiming to game. That's probably someone that would chat with my son on the VR and the Xbox. Aiming to game. Aiming to game. Do you hunt and fish? And no, I'm not playing with my ball sack in front of you. That's just inappropriate. Nope, he doesn't hunt and fish. Yeah, that explains it. But hey, thanks for saying hi anyway. I wish you all the best. I hope you have a wonderful new year. My son, he's big in VR. He owns like every VR, and he owns every Xbox box that's ever come out. He has a gaming laptop. You may have come across my son a time or two in the gaming world, but believe it or not, my son also hunts and fishes. My son shot his first deer at 10 years old. He almost got his second deer just this year, and he's caught tons of fish. He's been bear hunting, turkey hunting, deer hunting, fishing. But he's also a big gamer too. That would be my son. I guess I better get into that. Yeah. Have you ever considered trying fishing and hunting, aiming to game? Hey, are you interested in learning about hunting and fishing? So Bella 1214, you were saying about plugs and crankbaits. Have you ever caught landlocked salmon using plugs or crankbaits? Bella 1214. I think that's what you were, because you think you mentioned that in answering my question about what you might use to catch salmon for lures and stuff. So he says yes, me. Oh, nice. Sweet. So we've got hey, what do you guys think of my setup here? Oh, I was going live during the hunting seasons. I started with like I was talking about moose hunting content on my live stream for several weeks. I was talking about bear hunting for several weeks and transitioned into deer hunting content. And now ice fishing. And then I figured like in the wintertime I'd just kind of mix the two. I figured I'd talk about some hunting, talk about some fishing. And my live streams kind of mix the two. And because you never know who joins the live stream, what they're going to want to ask for questions, what they want to know, what they'd like to hear. This up here is a K drill, a 6-inch K drill. That's my first ever drill power operated auger for ice fishing that I ever owned. A 6-inch K drill. Then I bought an 8-inch auger for my drill, and I use the Siberian ice box. The Siberian ice box here for holding my bait, and it also has a tackle box, and it's a 3-in-1 kind of thing. It holds tackle and tools, holds live bait, and it's a seat, and it has side pouches or pockets so I can put like different tools and things in. So yeah, those Siberian ice boxes are sweet. This is a Laker ice fishing tip up. This wooden one back here, then that's a polar tip up with the green flag on it. Those are two different style ice fishing tip ups or traps. Pretty sweet, yeah. Now, how many of you ever heard of 13 fishing? 13 fishing gear, the 13 fishing rods, reels, lures. I tried out for the first time, I think last year, by 13 Fishing, the origami blade fishing spoons. And I bought them from Walmart. I've got I got like maybe 4 different color phases and variations of those origami blade jigging spoons by 13 Fishing. And I've been slaying the brook trout on them things. The brook trout love those little origami blade jigging spoons. Excuse me. Oh yeah, this is the whole thing about live streams, uncut, unedited. You're gonna hear me burp, see me, yeah. You're gonna see me be tongue tied. You're gonna see awkward pausing. That's live streamed for you. It's in the raw. So let's see. Let me get the Garmin Striker 4. So what I'm going to do, what I plan on doing, is getting a bucket of water to put the ice fishing transducer in, so that I can be, and I might put something in the bucket. Maybe I'll get some bait, buy some live bait, and I'll probably put some in the bucket water, so that so we can, and then I'll run this gadget, show how it works. So this is the Garmin Striker 4 Ice Fishing Bundle. It's what I use for electronics out there fishing. This is a little carry case. It's got a base to attach the sonar to. In the back is the battery. It's a pretty sweet setup. It's rechargeable too. So when I'm below 12 volts, I got the charger in this pouch here. It's a rechargeable battery. I might use this maybe 3 days fishing before I'll have to recharge it. And the Garmin Striker 4 has traditional fish finder. And I don't have the transducer in the body column water in here to show the bottom and stuff and depth and all that. So it has traditional fish finder. It has flasher mode. So this is the flasher. This is what you'd use when ice fishing. This will show a mark every time you jig your lure or move your lure, the water column. You'll be able to see it on the flasher. Actually, it might detect my hand. It is. See all that noise? I don't know if you can see it or not. That's my hand at the bottom of the transducer. Yeah, pretty neat. So how many of you use flashers? There's the Vexilar flasher. I'd love to buy me a Vexilar flasher. The Vexilar, I think I'm pronouncing that right. They're like, if you can correct me if I'm wrong, I believe the Vexilar is the first ever ice fishing flasher. What the whole idea behind the flashers is you can constantly see your lure. There's a mark. It'll be a light colored mark that's going up and down the water column as you're moving your lure. And then you might have a darker color like a red or orange, or just the darker color marks would be more dense objects like fish. And you'd see them coming up from the bottom or from the top or from around, from the left or right side of your lure as they're messing with the lure, checking it out. So, yeah. Full choking the chicken there. Nice. How well does your drill-powered auger work? Mine pretty good, but I'm only getting 4.5 holes out of a fully charged battery. So I don't do any run and gun fishing yet. So I use I'm using a DeWalt drill. It's a hammer drill with a hammer setting turned off. And I've got the extra second handle. And it works really good. See, my DeWalt battery on my drill, it lasts quite a bit. I can drill a dozen or more holes probably in a day before the battery starts going weak. I've had this DeWalt drill and battery for 3 years. And it's, and by the way, for those of you that are wondering, this is an answering Jason's question. Jason just in chat asked me a question, so I'm answering that for him. And yeah, my DeWalt drill setup and battery stuff has worked great. Yeah, I can get a lot of holes drilled with it. Oh, do you have a 8-inch or 10-inch auger drill power? See, was this or are you using a 6, Jason? Yeah, Jason, do you use a 6-inch, 8-inch, or 10-inch drill powered auger for ice fishing? Anyways, let me put my Garmin Striker 4 down. Oh, yeah, 8-inch. Yeah, that's what I use. That's all you need. You don't need any more than 8-inch. What's sweet though, Jason, is that now I think it's Eskimo. Eskimo came out with a 10-inch auger for drills now. And so it's obviously got to be made out of some real light material. It's gonna be light enough to be used in the drill, and sturdy, strong enough to full on choking. Yeah, let's do that. There we go. I think I know what that guy meant. I had my camera pointing down and my hands were going like this. And he said, what did he say? Full on choking the chicken there. It probably looked that way. I'm a hand talker. I was talking with my hands. It looked like I was choking the chicken. Hey, you're not wrong there. Yeah, I definitely needed to change the angle of the camera, so I'm not showing getting a crotch shot there. But, so yeah, I'm tempted to buy that 10-inch auger for the drill from Eskimo there. I do want to get one. Let me put this away. Sweet. I might end this live stream short. Cut it short tonight. So, let's see. There's nobody on here from New Zealand by chance? What was his name? Jason, do you remember that guy's name from New Zealand that joined us last Monday? We were watching his shorts off of his YouTube channel. He said he was going to join the live stream this Monday night. He probably forgot. It's no big deal. What I plan on doing, everybody, is inviting some guests in the future. That anyone that has a YouTube channel or has a YouTube account, if you're someone that is able to subscribe to YouTube channels, then you already have it. Then you yourself have a YouTube channel set up. You have a YouTube account that you can upload videos to and upload YouTube shorts to and stuff. So, and anyone with a YouTube account set up, I can invite them to my live stream as a guest on the live stream, so I can have, instead of just my ugly mug showing and me talking and stuff on the live stream and me hosting the live stream, I can have a guest appearance to join. So I plan on doing that in the future, inviting some guests on the live streams. So have you ever tried using a chainsaw to cut a large hole in sight fishing? No, I haven't, but I've been fishing with guys that brought chainsaws out. That's a cool question. Nice one, Jay. Have you done that, Jason? Have you ever cut holes with a chainsaw for sight fishing? That's a great tactic for brook trout, because this time of year the brook trout hunt. They scavenge for food and hunt. Or what they're doing this time of year, mainly your brook trout, your trout, they're forcing bait fish into the shallows, that corralling. That's why a lot of times you can catch multiple brook trout out of one hole, in like only 4 to 5 feet of water, there's a good chance that the why those brook trout are hanging there is because of their bait, the food that they're after chasing. They're corralling it up, chasing it into the shallows and areas where they can catch them easier and stuff, follow them easier. And, but yeah, you could sight fish for brook trout very easily by doing that, by cutting out big square rectangle holes out of the ice with a chainsaw. I've seen that done, but I've never done it. I have drilled 2 8-inch holes side by side to make a bigger hole so I could see good in the shallows. I've done that. But I kind of wasn't sight fishing per se. I didn't do it to actually just watch my lure and watch the trout mess with my lure, but I did it to put my ice fishing transducer for my Garmin in one hole, and then I was jigging in the other. But I did drill them side by side so that I could have one big gaping rectangular hole. See, Jason says, I haven't tried sight fishing, but use a chainsaw before I had an auger. Oh, yeah. Nice. Yeah, I mean, right now you can get away with cutting holes with a chainsaw. There's only like 6 to 7 inches wide. Where I was fishing today, there was only 7 inches. Some spots, the first hole I drilled, it was 6 inches of ice. The second hole I drilled, it was 7 inches of ice. So somewhere between 6 and 7 inches. You could get away with cutting your holes with a chainsaw right now. For sure, for sure. Let's see here. So Jason, you have a YouTube account because you're able to subscribe to channels. And Jason, do you upload videos to your YouTube account by chance? I can always invite you as a guest onto the live stream if that's something you'd be interested in. But yeah, you don't have to if you don't want to. I mean, it's totally fine. I was actually going to ask that guy. I think his name was Matt. Was it Matt something? Let's go back here. Let's go back. Oh yeah, right here. Go back. Close out of this. What was his name? Right here. It was. Oh, this isn't it. What the heck is it? Anyways, that guy from New Zealand, I was going to ask him if he'd be willing to be invited on as a guest on my live stream. So I will do in the future. I will definitely have guests join the live stream, and we'll go from there. Anyways, so before I close, I want to mention my 2 books. I've got Wild Maine Outdoors, Hunting Tactics, Tricks, and Secrets. And this is like a 5-section book. Section on black bear hunting, section on deer hunting, section on coyote hunting, section on bobcat hunting, red fox hunting. The last section is on deer hunting. Yeah, Wild Maine Outdoors, Hunting Tactics, Tricks, and Secrets. And then the Sit Spot, Discovering the Forest near you. This is a great little pocket guide like book. This book has helped individuals kind of hone their skills in tracking and awareness when out there in the woods and the wilderness. This book, the whole idea behind me writing this book is to help folks that read it, help them want to hone their woodsmanship skills, to better themselves as woodsmen, and woodswomen, if that even makes sense the way I said that. But yeah, what am I doing writing books if I can't even speak? But well, and sometimes it goes this way that people are better writers than public speakers. That's true. Some people are better off writing than speaking than doing what I'm doing right now. But I'm trying to do both. But I'm not perfect at either. But yeah, this book, The Sit Spot, Discovering the Forest Near You, is supposed to help you want to run to your nearby forest, mountains, and hills, and want to get in there, get in those woods and learn everything you possibly can about your forest, your nearby forest, and learn and get close to wildlife and learn from the wildlife. There's a chapter in here about listening to the birds and the bird sounds and calls you hear and what they might mean. That would help you become more woods wise, develop your woodsmanship skills. There's chapters in here about tracking, how to read tracks, and my motivation for writing this book has to do with my course I took, an advanced wood survival course I took, taught by Michael Douglas, who lives here in Maine. But Michael Douglas learned all of his skills and stuff from Tom Brown Jr., the tracker, and Tom Brown Jr. learned all his skills from an Apache Indian he called Grandpa and stuff. So yeah, that course I took, I learned a lot, and what I learned in that, and all the years of hunting, and years, all the time spent in the wilderness and the mountains and forests, so it helped me write this book. So yeah, The Sit Spot, Discovering the Forest Near You, and Wild Maine Outdoors, Hunting Tactics, Tricks, and Secrets. The PayPal links to order these books are in the descriptions below all of my videos. You can go into the descriptions below any one of my YouTube videos and click on the PayPal links to order these books. And then obviously there's the shopping icon. You can click on to browse my Spikes and Gills merch. So there you have it. Pretty neat, huh? So I hope all of you join back here on my Spikes and Gills live stream next Monday night at 8:30 p.m. I want to build a strong hunting fishing community around my Spikes and Gills live streams every Monday night at 8:30 p.m. Please share your success stories and your pics to my email, wildmaineoutdoors@gmail.com. That's in the chat. If you scroll up in the chat below, go and chat. You'll see my email, wildmaineoutdoors@gmail.com. Send your fishing and hunting success stories and pics to that email, and I'll share all that in the live stream, and and then you can join the chat, and we can all just converse with one another, answering one another's questions, and learning from one another, so we can become better fishermen and hunters. So there you have it. So Jason, buddy, you have a good night. And see, he says, I do not upload. I don't do any content yet. Too many irons in the fire right now, but sure, I'd do a guest. Oh, you would? Okay, sweet. So Jason, so next Monday, you might get like an email or a notification on your phone from me. I'm not sure what kind of notification it is, whether it's via email, notification, like similar to like when I upload a video and the algorithm is pushing it out to my audiences. You know how you'll get like a notification of my uploads, my new video uploads. It might be something like that, or it could just be a simple thing as an email that you'll get on my request. When I request people as a guest to come onto my live stream as a guest appearance to help talk with folks. So it would be like my mug and your mug. We could be talking with one another instead of chatting, texting back and forth on chat, and we can answer people's questions and talk with other people, share stories and share fishing success stories and tips and tactics and hunting success stories and so forth. So yeah, we'll try it out for the first time, Jason, next Monday. You will just give it. It's just, hey, clearly I fumble all the time. I'm not perfect. That's what's cool about live streams is it's all just raw, unedited, raw content, and it's just all about just conversing with one another, having a conversation, friendly conversation about hunting and fishing. Nothing wrong with that. So we'll try it out. Cool. I think that's all I have for now. I'm going to, in the future, get better at planning. Okay, sounds good. Yeah, thanks, Jason. Appreciate that, buddy. I'm going to get better at planning ahead on my life or what I want to talk about. Now, when it comes to like my hunting content, if I'm talking about bear, deer, moose hunting, I definitely do a lot of research, listen to a lot of podcasts, do a lot of research, take a lot of notes. I write a script in a sense before my live stream, so I have lots of content to talk about, to share, lots of cool little facts and tidbits and tips and such, so forth, so on, for moose hunting, bear hunting, deer hunting, so forth, so on. But I need to get better at doing that about fishing content, talking about fishing. But anyways, so yeah, cool. Thanks, Jason. Thanks everybody else that has been on here. Bella1214, thanks for joining the live stream. And nice, sweet. All right, everybody, have a good night. We'll see you back here next Monday night at 8:30 p.m. on the Spikes and Gills live stream. Good night, everybody.